Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Are We on the Same Page? I'm your host, Dave Thomas Rocker, and today I'm going to talk about something I came up with about a year and a half ago. It's in my book, My Spiritual Journey, by the way. Here's a picture of the book, um, the, the front cover, anyway. You can buy this on Amazon. It's available both in paperback and on Kindle. The paperback version is $30. The Kindle version, I think, is $9. Anyway, I would encourage you guys to buy a copy because I think you'll like it. It has a lot of quotes, personal quotes. That's most of what it is. It's a pretty short book. It's about 100 pages long, but it's mostly a set of quotations I came up with over a period of about a year, pertaining to mostly just how to live a good life. You can think of it as a modern day version of Poor Richard's Almanac, I guess. But anyway, I would encourage you to buy it. I think you'll enjoy it. You might not agree with everything I say, but I think you'll enjoy it anyway. So anyway, let me get started with today's video. What I really want to talk about today, this is in my book, by the way. This is something I came up with. I think you can see the date on it, December 29th, 2022, which was about a year and a half ago. I call this the pyramids of human virtues and vices. And again, this is something you may not completely agree with. But I was pretty proud of myself when I came up with this, even though pride isn't a good trait, according to this diagram. But anyway, let me just go through it. So I've got the virtues on top. The reason I kind of like this diagram is I have 10 virtues arranged as a pyramid, and then on the bottom I have vices, which are pretty much the opposite of the corresponding virtues. For instance, I'd say pity is kind of the opposite of empathy. Hate is obviously the opposite of love. And I'd say megalomania, that's the one on the very bottom of the vices, that's the opposite of humility. So let me just go through these and say why I think they're all important. Uh, should I go from the top down or the bottom up? I think I'm going to go from the bottom up. So, I mean, these things kind of build on each other like a pyramid. I think that's another reason this is clever because, they're not just 10 random vices and their opposites, they're more kind of interrelated to each other. And I think it's easier in life to start at the bottom and work your way up. So, let's just start at the bottom. So, what are the most basic human virtues according to this diagram? I'd say they're the four on the bottom here. Empathy, which really means, just understanding how other people feel, be in tune with their feelings, because there's other people in the world, not just yourself. And you probably know that you have a lot of, good and bad emotions, and other people do too. And if they're people you care about, you should be empathetic to them. Unfortunately, I'm on the spectrum, and I think a lot of people on the spectrum kind of lack empathy. I've actually lacked empathy for most of my life, which made a lot of my life very difficult, by the way. And a lot of people misinterpreted this. They thought I just didn't care about them. I guess they kind of thought I was just a selfish bastard. But really, what was going on was I just didn't understand people. I couldn't relate to them. I could relate to numbers better than people. I could relate to concrete things. People are hard to understand, but eventually I did. And now that I do think I understand people reasonably well, I think I'm pretty empathetic towards most of their concerns. I know I am with all my friends and family, and I just can't even imagine being any other way anymore. So empathy is pretty basic. And then compassion, that's kind of closely related to empathy. I guess people sometimes call this sympathy. That just means it's not quite the same as empathy. Empathy means you can feel what other people are feeling. Sympathy is more like when people are hurt. When people are hurt inside, you're willing to help them. You see that they're hurt. I guess you can think of it as part of empathy. Just kind of having. You have to have empathy to have sympathy, I'd say. Just when people are down, being there to help them, to cheer them up. That's what I think compassion is. Respect. This is another one that took me a really long time to learn. I don't think I even knew the meaning of respect until just a few years ago, actually. And most of my life, I've been pretty disrespectful. Not intentionally, but maybe I just didn't appreciate respect enough. Respect means you have to, even if you don't agree with people, you have to have respect for what they believe in, because everybody has the right to believe whatever they want. Everybody has a life right to live whatever kind of lifestyle they want as long as they're not hurting themselves or anybody else. We have to respect that, I think. And it's a two-way street. I think if we respect other people, we have to respect ourselves too. There's even a song by the Staple Singers, "Respect Yourself," which I really like. So I think it's easier if you respect yourself first, and then you can respect others, and they can respect you. And then what I got on the bottom right here, altruism. I think I've actually always been pretty altruistic. And I don't think everybody is. And some people don't even think it exists. But I think it does. All altruism is that the idea that a good deed is its own reward. I mean, just feeling good when you do good things. I know I do. When I help my neighbors, I don't even expect anything in return. I just feel good. I feel like I'm a good person if I can help people out. I try to donate $10 worth of groceries every week to the people in my neighborhood because I live right near a ghetto. I live just a few blocks from a homeless shelter. These are poor people without a roof over their heads. I think most of them don't even have enough food. So I feel really good about myself when I can donate to them. And I don't expect anything from them in return, just their gratitude. And then working up from these, maybe I should go right to left. So I have kindness above respect and altruism, and I think kindness is kind of encompasses both of those things. It just means be nice to others, even people who aren't nice to you. I guess that's where the altruism comes in. And I know Jesus preached a lot about this. Love your enemies, be kind to everybody, even people who are cruel to you. I don't know if I'd quite go this far. I have a very hard time being kind to people who aren't kind to me. Maybe I need to work on my kindness more. And then love is right in the middle of the third tier. A lot of people think love is the most important thing in the world, and I can't completely disagree with them. I mean, the Beatles said all you need is love. And I love that song, and I love the message, and I love love. I mean, I think, and also a song called "What the World Needs Now Is Love," and I agree with that. I mean, if we could all just find it in our heart to love each other, I think we'd have a really, really great world. Probably a better world than we've ever had in the history of humanity. So we need to learn how to love one another, I think. And what's next to that one? Understanding. Well, we have to understand people before we can love them. And I'd say, the pillars of understanding are empathy and compassion. If we're empathetic, we have to be empathetic of other people in order to be able to understand them, and we also have to be compassionate towards them. And understanding people is a difficult thing to do because I don't understand a lot of things about a lot of people, particularly bad people, criminals. I don't understand criminals. I don't understand megalomaniacs. I don't understand greedy people. I don't understand what motivates people to hurt others. That's what I don't understand. Maybe you guys can help me with that. Kind of like Depeche Mode said, can't understand what makes a man hurt another man. Help me understand. What comes above that? Wisdom. Wisdom is very, very important. And, wisdom isn't just knowledge, it's refined knowledge. I mean, a computer knows a lot. If knowledge is just storing information in your head, that's good. But, it only serves a purpose if it becomes wisdom. So wisdom is kind of refined knowledge that you can apply to yourself and to others. It's enlightened knowledge, I'd say. And I think it requires some spirituality. It's not just, we could be, the greatest scientists in the world, have all the scientific knowledge in the world. But if we don't understand spirituality, then I don't think we're wise. So I think it's important to be wise. And you don't even really need to be a genius to be wise. You just have to be kind of wise in the ways of the world. So wisdom is very important. And the one right next to it is courage. Courage is really important too. And for most of my life, I've been kind of a coward most of my life. Courage is really just facing your fears. And we all have fears. Nobody can deny that. But we have to learn how to conquer our fears. Otherwise, they're gonna imprison us. So the only way you can really be happy is to have courage. You have to have courage to face your fears and to face your obstacles and to follow your dreams. And courage isn't just blind courage. I mean, it doesn't just mean buying a machine gun, being like Rambo, going to war just for the hell of it. It means courage has to serve a purpose. And I'd say the purpose of courage is to follow your dreams, to help yourself and to help others, and not be inhibited by your fears. That's what I would call courage. And then on the very top of the virtues, I have humility. And I think humility is the hardest of all of these to achieve. I think very, very few people in our society are humble. But humility is probably the most important of these virtues. I mean, I think if we can be humble, then all these other virtues will just kind of fall into place. I mean, I think it's the recipe for how to be good, be humble. And I think most people consider saints humble. And it's something you have to work on. I mean, I don't think anybody's completely humble. And I also think that we need a little bit of balance. I mean, I have the vices on the bottom. I'm not even go through the vices because those are just the opposites of the virtues, basically. And we all have vices. And, nobody's 100% good. I don't think there's any true saints in this world. I don't even think Jesus was a true saint. Sorry if upset some Christians here. But I don't think we should try to be saints. I think we should try to be good. If we can manage to become humble, that's great. But we should just do the best we can. Try to embrace all these virtues and avoid the vices. And I think if we all did that, we'd have a much better world. So anyway, that concludes my video for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.